A pilot from Monroe, Michigan is dead after this plane crash in Afghanistan yesterday. It happened north of the capital of Kabul. 33-year-old Jamie Brokaw was one of 5 Michigan residents who was killed. And we're going to be bringing you that story in just a moment.
But first, Bowling Green police are investigating a suspicious item found in the city this afternoon. The bomb squad has arrived on the scene there, and our Daryl Kirkland-Morgan is live there as well with the latest. Daryl.
Well, Bowling Green police, fire, as well as the Northwest Ohio Bomb Squad are here in Bowling Green off of North Enterprise Street investigating what looks like a suspicious item. They got the call about 2:15 in the afternoon. They said a city employee was driving by and he or she saw something like a suspicious bottle in front of some apartment buildings, immediately notified authorities. The person said it had some kind of attachments to it. They aren't sure at this point what it is, but they did get right on it, sending in actually just a few moments ago a robotic machine to check this out. Now, they have specifically asked us not to do live broadcasts of the bomb squad. They would want to mess up any of this investigation, and we're respecting their request, but they have evacuated some apartment buildings as well as some homes on North Enterprise. And if you're driving in the area, Enterprise is closed between East Reed and Ridge Street. So as of right now, with what we know is that there was a suspicious item. It looks like it's a bottle. They're not sure what it is, but they're taking all of the precautions to make sure that everyone stays safe. As we get the details, we'll bring them to you. Reporting live in Bowling Green, Daryl Kirkland-Morgan, 13 ABC Action News.
And now back to that breaking news out of Monroe, Michigan.
7 people killed in a plane crash in Afghanistan, including a local man from Monroe, identified now as 33-year-old pilot Jamie Brokaw. 13 ABC's Amy Montgomery been tracking the latest developments. And Amy, any word tonight on what caused the crash?
Well, Lee, at this point, no. But the National Transportation Safety Board and Boeing, they're sending investigators to Afghanistan to assist in this investigation. The Boeing 747 went down Monday morning around 7 a.m. at the Bagram Air Base. Video apparently showing the accident is going viral, but the Pentagon has been unable to confirm whether it is the actual crash. Now, you will see the crash, so some viewers may find this footage disturbing. As we mentioned, the investigation into what happened is still ongoing, but you can see the cargo plane take off. It hangs in the air for a few seconds before it crashes at a low altitude, sending flames and thick black smoke into the air. All 7 passengers on board were killed. National Air says that 4 pilots, 2 mechanics, and a loadmaster were on board. The crew was headed to Dubai carrying vehicles and other cargo. The president of National Airlines released a statement this afternoon saying this is a devastating loss for our family and will work diligently with authorities to find a cause. At this point, investigators have not identified all of those victims, but we do know 5 of them were from Michigan, including a pilot from Monroe. Reporting live, Amy Montgomery, 13 ABC Action News.
And that pilot, Jamie Brokaw's love for flying started when he was just a little boy. He spent his time training at the Monroe Aviation School of Flight. 13 ABC's Alexis Means continues our team coverage. Alexis?
Well, 33-year-old Jamie Brokaw lived in Monroe, Michigan, near Custer Airport. He was so highly regarded by many in the field of aviation. The owner of Monroe Aviation School says Jamie always came to the airport during the summer to fly his father's plane. He describes Jamie as a nice guy and a competent pilot.
I mean, he's a nice guy, very competent pilot. He's been around for, like I say, most of the summers, very, very friendly, and it's a significant loss. He was working to build up his time to eventually get to his ATP and then move over to the captain's seat.
Now, the pilot leaves behind a wife. The couple had only been married about 1 year. Reporting live, Alexis Means, 13 ABC Action News.
And now to a crime and safety alert just into the newsroom tonight. The Ottawa County Sheriff's Department is investigating 2 incidents of stranger danger in Curtis. The first one reported on Ryman Road yesterday afternoon. Sheriff's office says a 9-year-old girl was waiting for her mom, who was running behind her. The girl says a man driving a black vehicle told her to get into his car. Just about an hour later, 2 16-year-old girls reported a man with the same description approached them and demanded they get in this vehicle. This happened on Front Street. Now here's a description of the man and his vehicle. It's described as an older man, scruffy gray facial hair. Victims also say that he's thin, reportedly driving a black car with a license plate EMV 8016. New at 5, your water service. Customers being asked to pay more for upgrades to the water treatment plant in Toledo One council member believes they should get better service in return.
Councilwoman Lindsay Webb is proposing 3 changes to city law which she believes will ensure better service. 13 ABC's Bill Horman talked to her about her efforts. Bill.
Lindsay Webb's idea is really simple. You can provide better water service to water customers by simply upgrading some of the requirements that the water department would have to follow. Water customers go downtown sometimes to pay their bills, sometimes to complain about their service.
In wintertime, I want my water turned off because the meter is broken and nobody answers.
Customers are feeling the pinch right now because their water rates will go up in order to pay for $350 million in upgrades to the water treatment plant.
More needs to be done in the area of customer service, in the area of transparency, in the area of fair dealing with our customers.
Councilwoman Lindsay Webb is proposing 3 changes to city law to improve service to water customers who will now pay the higher rates. One change is a 14-point Bill of Rights that includes notice before shutting off water, a grace period to pay the bill, and even the right to have your complaint investigated.
It's obvious stuff, but nowhere in the Toledo Municipal Code is that information written down.
The head of the Department of Public Utilities didn't want to go on camera, but he believes that his department is already conducting most of the 14 points in the Bill of Rights. He also says that the legal department is vetting all of the measures to make sure that they're legal. For instance, Webb wants to allow renters to deduct their water bill charges from their rent if the landlord refuses to pay the water bill. And she wants to establish an impartial appeals board. The current setup, Councilman Mike Craig insists, is stacked in DPU's favor.
If it's all utility people making the decisions of whether you were treated fairly or not, it's probably going to always turn out in their favor.
Councilwoman Webb proposing these measures just for consideration. Perhaps there will be a vote in a couple of weeks, but she's hearing from a lot of her constituents that the water service is bad. Not necessarily that they're not getting good water, but that the service when they come here is not good customer service. She wants to correct that, believes her 3 measures are the best way to do it. Reporting live from downtown, Bill Horman, 13 ABC, Action News.
And this just into the newsroom. Toledo City Council voted to increase water rates by more than 13%. The council voted 11-1 in favor. That will affect about 500,000 customers. The new rates take effect the first of the year and continue through 2018. The new rates are to pay for more than $300 million in those upgrades and repairs to the water system. Well, nobody had to water their lawns, but a lot of folks probably took advantage if they had time to cut the lawns today.
Right. It was just gorgeous, and it sounds like the best is yet to come here. Chief Meteorologist Jay Burschback live in the 13 ABC First Warning Forecast Center with a first look. It's been a long wait, Jay.
It has. After a very damp and cool spring, last day of April, I'm feeling nice in the first.
All right, Jay, thank you. Well, they served our country both at home and abroad, and today our area is giving a major thank you to our local veterans. Honor Flight of Northwest Ohio took to the skies for its first flight of the season this morning. 13 ABC's Zach Pitts reports today's send-off was so special for so many reasons.
A new Honor Flight season brings new faces, new stories, and more reasons for excitement. It's a chance for veterans to see the memorials in their honor, many of which they've never seen before.
I wanted to see the Korean monument in World War II and all the rest of them, They were all heroes,
I've been to Washington quite a few years ago. They didn't have all of this monuments like they do now.
But for some, it's much more than a trip of a lifetime. It's a trip with family. World War II veterans Otis and Lois Sonnenberg are taking the trip with their 2 sons.
Well, that's the fun part of it, really. We are a close family. We spend a lot of time together.
Otis and I each had 2 brothers, and they never lived to see this World War II memorial. So we feel we're here for them as well.
We went as a family, many years ago, but this memorial wasn't there at that time. So I'm excited to see that memorial, and I know they are.
Every flight is unique in its own way. This morning's send-off is dedicated to Ron Miller, a man who died before getting his chance to tour the nation's capital. His wife Jan watches as veterans board a plane for the trip her husband had talked so much about.
I can't hardly believe everything that Honor Flight is doing because of him. That Ron believed in, he liked Honor Flight, liked talking about it.
5 years ago today, Honor Flight of Northwest Ohio took to the skies for the first time. Organizers say it's a great day for celebration.
1,449 veterans we've been lucky enough to take. We're giving back a small piece of what these men and women have done for us. We would have nothing in this country if it wasn't for our veterans.
Zach Pitts, 13 ABC, Action News.
And coming up a little bit later on Action News at 6 tonight, Washington Bureau Chief Jacqueline Policastro meets with the veterans in Washington. You're going to hear their reaction as they see the memorials built in their honor.